only hear like a very lonely overtone. You hear this little voice.
This is with a box full of things that you just let it.
For example, this. And to me that gives a feeling of something which is not from this world, you know?
I think Peter Vigh makes very smart use of the instruments he wrote for. If you consider it like, I'm gonna write a piece for a block flute, pan flute, accordion, viola, percussion and 30 singers, you might really get scared off in the beginning. But he could find a very logic way of how to combine all of those instruments.
First of all, the combination of young female voices in our Ensemble Black Pencil, I think is really beautiful because it creates all the environment, all the colors and sounds which Peter had in his mind while composing this piece.
Well, it's obvious that Peter Vigh composer, he thinks in color. You also hear it in the choir part that text is broken up and then there's only some vocals are used and they are repeated between the two parts of the choir. And everything has one purpose, and that's to create an ambience and an atmosphere.
Yeah, I think it's basically we created, and Peter created a very nice palette of sounds. So it's like a combination of more traditional sounds with some search for this white sound, white noise kind of texture sounds. And, that I like. Or bass drum also plays like normally. But we also use this kind of little device that gets a lot of different overtones. I was looking for a lot of this white noise, so we managed to find some options that create this rich white noise that can blend very good with the choir.
Peter used quite a lot of different techniques, and actually he uses the whole range of the accordion. So he goes from the very high to the very low. He uses, for example, those very low clusters.
What I like very much is that he considers my instrument as an instrument very close to the human voice. So he actually requires me to talk a lot throughout the piece. That is, talking while playing the instrument. So make use of all these vowels and consonants. The I was there, ik was daar. And it's very specifically notated, so it's quite a challenge. But when you combine it with the choir, it sounds really beautiful.
So, like the double bass, it amplifies a situation. And so, I would say this bass instrument is not used as the typical bass instrument, but I have to do overtones. So it is this. A magical moment in the text going on, and then you have to amplify it like.
There are sections that I just play like regular notes, regular sounds, rhythms, but there are also sections which requires different things, like playing on the bridge, which creates this kind of air, and then the choir does the same, so it's kind of echoes. The piece is about kind of echoes all around.
And sometimes I have to merge with the viola. Sometimes I have to merge with a vibraphone or with the female voices. So sometimes I just come out with a little tone or cluster. Can't really say that's the accordion. It's just part of the whole atmosphere.
If there are some parts which are difficult to realize, he's very open to change, even registers or playing other intervals or so, as long as it, of course, matches the idea he had in mind.
He's actually very meticulous. is a composer from the young generation. And if he doesn't know precisely how to write everything down, he will tell you. And if he doesn't hear that there's something is sounding the way he really like it, he will also tell you in a very friendly way, but very demanding way. I think that for all of us instrumentalists and singers, it's quite inspiring, because you know that you are working with someone who really is searching for certain type of sound, certain type of color, and he will not stop until that very color has been achieved.
To my feeling that he is really searching for the edges. So that means also in the choir that they are really in the edges of the sound, and also for our ensemble. And in combination, then you really have to see there are moments that you don't know, it hangs there in the air. It's very intense. So it requires also from the audience, I think, a lot of concentration and focus, which is the same for us, because if you lose that, it feels like it will all fall apart.
Now when we play with 30 singers, we're even more required to go into that direction. So it actually opened our ears in a more vocal sense, and that for us instrumentalists is quite refreshing. So we have to apply our playing techniques in different ways so that we can really melt and at the end of the day come out as one sound color towards the audience.